this is Tigo, and you guys know where you are. Expert Talk with me, Tigo. And today, we're going to talk about generational wealth. Now, I'm not talking about the Kennedys. I'm talking about how we can build generational wealth right now, today, in what's now 2021. Now, you may be watching this in 2045, but it's 2121 today with us. Today, we have Queenie coming to the show. She's going to talk about finance so you can understand it, how you can get started, how you can build wealth for your kids or your family. Yeah, that's what today's about. So sit right there. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. And like I said, right before the break, we've got Queenie on the show. Hey, Queenie, how you doing?
Hey, Tigo, I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm really, really good. And I'm really, really happy to have the woman with the coolest first name on the planet on our show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's only cool in North America. There's about 1 million Queenies, actually, in Asia.
Yeah, I guess you're right, huh? Well, you're the first Queenie on my show, dang it. And that's all that matters.
There we go. There we go. First is something.
Let's talk about you for a second. I know that your specialty, your expertise is finance and helping people generate generational wealth. And we're going to get into all of that good stuff. But let's talk about, like, what were you doing at 10, 15? Were you saving money back then? Did you understand the power of what you're doing today? Were you doing this as a kid?
Not at all. So I grew up in a Chinese cultural background where scarcity mindset is still very much alive today. So the way I was taught was save money, save as much as you can, buy a house, then you're set. Done. Get a high paying job, become a doctor, lawyer, all that jazz. And I sucked at saving money. I was never good at it because here's the thing, you can't save your way to wealth. And so for me, it didn't make sense to save money. Not that I was bad at it, but I was better at making money. I remember in third grade, because my parents would send me the same things every single day to lunch if I said I liked it. And I would get that for the entire year. So maybe a little overboard. But what did I do? I got bored with food and I love food. So here I'm thinking, okay, I can trade with someone, but sometimes I get a lot of things. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sell these. So I'm going to sell this Hershey's for like a penny. I'm going to sell this for 5 cents. And people in my class just got to know me for the food.
Oh my goodness. So you started your first business at what age? Because how old were you then?
Grade 3, I think it was like 7 or 8 maybe.
So you were born to do this. This is not a happenstance. You were born to do this. So wait a minute, but you didn't sell it for a profit. I know your parents spent more than a penny on that bar. Did you get
They
in trouble?
did.
What did the parents say?
They never knew about it until one day someone gave me a gift in my lunch bag and I forgot about it. So they opened it and they see this note like, oh, hey, thanks for all those yummy burgers. Here's a bracelet. I appreciate it.
Okay. Okay.
So they started asking me what I was doing. And I told them, well, I didn't really like the food and I didn't want to tell you that or appear disrespectful. So I thought I would just sell it.
Right.
And they just took that. They were like, okay. The only time I ran into issue with my parents is when I wrote myself $1 million check from their checkbook.
Excuse me. Wait a minute. What? You did
So
what?
I was curious. I didn't understand how checking worked, how the banking system works, anything like that. But I see my parents' checkbook and I thought to myself, what would it look like to write myself a check in my name, $1 million? So I did it. And they got a little mad at me because
Just a little.
they were like, You're not cashing this in. We don't have that kind of money. And, I didn't keep it. And I wish I did, because now I realize the power of visualization. And for me to see that, I felt like I had a lot more hustle back then. Whereas now some of the fear comes in, and especially when it comes to what I do, I had to learn the hard way.
So
Because
your family you don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. Are you the first one in your family to start your own business?
my dad has started import export businesses, but they never became successful.
Hmm.
He actually got into credit card debt and was leveraging credit card to credit card. And now I kind of do the same, except I'm making money from doing it. I've learned how to do it in a safe way.
Wait, hold on. You're making money from credit card debt?
Credit card pays you to use them. I've made over $6,000 from credit cards alone without having to pay the debt back. So there is a plus side, and I've discovered it.
Okay, you got to give me a little bit more. What does that mean? Credit cards pay you to use them. I'm confused.
So think of it this way. If we're taught right now to think credit card's bad, all credit card is bad. But if you're looking at rewards, you're looking at insurance, you're
Ah,
looking at extended warranty, all of those things add up, and you leverage those. Because here's the thing, they are banking on you to make a mistake, they're banking on you to abuse the power. But with discipline, like discipline in selling chocolates at a young age and not using that money, with discipline, I can actually put those rewards, cashbacks, travel, whatever, and make them work for me. I love credit cards, and I think they can be your best friend if used properly.
okay, but discipline can be a dirty word to a lot of people. With discipline, you're in your best physical shape. And with discipline, you're able to do all those things you're dreaming about. Dream, well, when COVID's over, dream vacations and all that kind of stuff. Discipline to me is a muscle that you have to build up. So how did you build that muscle to have that kind of, discipline to not only keep in control of your finances, but actually make money with your credit cards? How did you
Mhm.
build that up like that?
I stopped budgeting. So, budgeting is, think of it this way, it's like a diet. It's temporary and people hate it. A
I love
diet is
it.
not sustainable, right? And it's
Right.
restricting. I think that's the thing. I don't think diet's bad, but in order for you to actually live a healthy lifestyle, it's a lifestyle change and a lifestyle choice. So, to answer your question, it's about lifestyle. I plan for the lifestyle I want, and then I look at what do I need to go into that lifestyle? What foundational pieces and pillars do I need so I can have my lifestyle? Credit cards, wealth, it's all the same. I look at how do I want to live? And then what am I going to do to create that? I don't look at this is all I have right now and I need to stick with this because it's limiting.
Hmm.
And yes, I still track my expenses. I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but I don't think tracking is the same as budgeting because I create a cash flow. There needs to be movement. There needs to be currency. No one ever got wealthy or rich by hoarding all their money.
True. I have to agree with you there. So, you shared with me that you're a young mom, you have a baby that's so, so cute.
I do.
When do you start teaching your child the information that you have acquired over the years? When do you start? Does she start when she's 18 and graduates high school? Does she start the day before kindergarten? When does she start learning the value of a dollar and the value of investing in finance and everything that you're teaching your clients?
Mm, I love this question so much because as a new mom, it's dear to my heart. So her nickname's Miss Tubby, not because of her weight, but because of how she eats. She's like me; we just eat a lot. So the minute I teach her is honestly the minute she can start understanding and have conversations and speak. So we are not planning to pay her for chores. There's no allowance. Chores I see as a responsibility. However, I will pay her to read and develop her mind and develop herself. Because in anything in business, in wealth, you have to grow the person. It's about becoming. Wealth is about becoming. It's not a checklist of to-dos. And I I'm going to share this. So when we give her her first few dollars, I am going to run up the stairs and rob her because I'm going to teach her about life. And sometimes that happens. And her dad is going to come in and tax her because
You
it's
guys are so wrong.
life. It is life. You have to learn, life isn't always fair, but it teaches her every dollar I earned, a portion of it gets divvied up. This is in taxes, this is in savings, this is an investment. So by the end of it, whatever's left over, that's guilt free for you. That's the concept, that's the learning, because you see money differently. If you're grown up knowing that a portion is always going to be for taxes, because what's that saying? There's two things that are inevitable in life: death and
Death and
taxes.
taxes. Yeah. Death and taxes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's going to learn that. And in terms of setting her up, I want to be able to buy her a house. I want to give her a leg up. In fact, we have her on a policy right now that she can leverage already. She doesn't have to wait for it. All the money for a kid, because it's expensive. Diapers aren't cheap. And then you have formula, shoes, baby shoes. Why are they so expensive when they only wear them for 3 months?
Yeah, if that, if that. But
Right?
they figure that out. You got to buy them. So supply and demand, they're going to charge you whatever they can to,
Mm-hmm.
to get you that way. So when you talk about things like that, and I'm listening, you have a husband who is also an entrepreneur. We actually had him on the show not too long ago, and you guys are building two different enterprises under the same roof at the same time. So what happens when your daughter comes to you and says, I'm ready to start my own business? Are you encouraging them? Nope, go traditional. You're going to go to college. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to be upper executive somewhere at some corporate America. Are you teaching them to be really creative and just go for theirs like you and your husband are going for yours?
Absolutely. So, our intention for her, first off, her name means to dream, and her middle name means to create.
Oh, wow.
So, that's the intention we gave our daughter. And from my own journey, because I never graduated college. It took me a while to graduate high school. I've had a drug addiction, mental health. I've dealt
Mm.
with all that. So, because of my history, I'm more open. Like, here's the thing, I want to give her a leg up because I know whatever she chooses, we're going to be supportive. Because I made a vow to her, and this was funny. When I was still pregnant, my husband asked me, well, what do we want to teach her? What values do we want to teach her? I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to think about that yet, because she's not at that age. Right now, she's a little baby. And all I want is to discover who she is every single day.
Mm.
That's all.
Mhm.
I don't want my values bestowed on her and thrown on her. I want her to form her own. Like, yes, we'll have family values, but I still want to just discover who she is as a human being every single day. And I want to be able to nurture that. So if she wants a business, absolutely. And that's why I'm okay with giving her a leg up, because anyone that's built a business, no one's going to give you a handout. You have to go through your own trials and errors.
Mhm.
And in
Yep.
order to do so, you're going to be tested. You're going to learn. You're going to confront your own inner demons and push through as a human. So her challenges are already going to be there. It's for us, it's whatever she wants to do. And I want to be able to allow her to make those mistakes. One of the things my husband and I started doing already is every night, every day, we ask each other, what did you fail at today?
Ah, I
Because we
love
want
that.
to make it like failing isn't a bad thing. And if you didn't fail today, maybe you didn't learn hard enough, because we
Wow,
should
that's
learn
powerful.
something every single day.
That's absolutely powerful. Now, before I let you, before we go to break, and I definitely don't want you to go because we've got to get into what your business is all about. And we're going to do that right after the break. But you did say something while you were talking about, your journey and talk about mental illness and addiction and blah, blah, blah. If someone is out there right now, because I know there's lots of people that are holding themselves back because they have been through something similar, or maybe they're going through it right now, and they think no matter how much I want to start my own business, no matter how much I want to take control of my own finances, I can't because, I had these issues. What would you tell them?
Forgive yourself. That
Hmm.
would be the place to begin, because so much of it comes from the meaning we give to our past. And it's okay to not know where to start. It's
Hmm.
okay to feel whatever you are feeling right now. It really is. Just be gentle with yourself and know that if you are ready, people are ready to help you,
I
but you
love
have
that.
to be ready.
I love that. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to give them the meat and potatoes, as my dad used to say. Where's the meat and potatoes? So we're going to give them the meat and potatoes on how to take control of their financing, give them a little tip. Other than that credit card thing was really, really cool. Give them a little tip about building generational wealth, because, everybody is looking at their families now and thinking, what's going to happen in 20 years, 40 years, 50 years for my kids and my grandkids? How can I help make sure they're okay for generations to come? So when we come back, we're going to get Queenie. She's going to give us tips on how to get started. So sit right there. We'll be right back. Are you sitting on the edge of your seat? Because I am. I'm like as close as you are. I want to know how to build generational wealth for my family. I've got grandsons. I want them to be okay. And that's why the woman with the coolest name on the planet, Queenie, is here today. All right, Queenie, you got the stage. How do we start?
Thank you. I am so excited to share this because my mission is to empower the 99%. I feel financial literacy should be available to everyone and anyone who wants it. And it's simple. First is to set your foundation, because everybody, from your janitor to the CEO wants to tell you what to invest in. And
Right?
it's timely today, when we're talking about investing with GameStop and all these people jumping on, like, let's get the
Yep.
big guy. But we're forgetting something. If you understand how money works, you realize it's not the big guy hedge funds that are necessarily losing. It's the people who give them the money. So it's other people's pensions. So it's a double-edged sword. And how do you know that? You know that from understanding how money works. So financial
Mm-hmm.
literacy is the fundamental pillar to creating your wealth. Now, there are 5 other points, what I like to call the 5 cores principle, which are banking, credit, debt, investment, and insurance. Once you have those laid out, that is where you can just go off. You can focus, you can worry about, how am I going to live my life, instead of working endlessly to create wealth or for money. That's, I think, we forget how simple it is to start. And we try to go in something like, oh, okay, I need my retirement account. For Canadians, it's our RSPs or our Roth IRAs and all this stuff. And then it gets overwhelming. We get confused because there's so much information.
Right.
So, for me, it's cutting through that noise. Like, let's remove that stress, remove the confusion, because jargon never helped anyone. And there's so much jargon in the financial industry. So I think for you to truly learn, it's get the concept, start thinking differently, start reading about money, and start looking at those 5 areas. Then you'll start understanding, what questions do I ask next? Because right now, most people don't know what to ask.
You're
They
right.
think They think being rich means being wealthy. And I've got a really good analogy for that I've learned myself is being rich means you're working very hard for your money. But being wealthy means that your money is working for you. You're making your
Mm.
money work for you.
See, I
And
need
what
special effects right now. I need something needs to be going boom, because that's a mind-blowing moment right there. It's just your money should be working for you. You know, you're not doing 20 out of 24 hours of the day killing yourself trying to make money. But I want to go back to one thing. With your 5 points, you said insurance. I heard it.
Mhm. Yes,
What does insurance have to do with building financial independence?
protection of your assets and wealth. So when we talk foundation, we're talking how to begin. Maybe it's saving, budgeting, we talk about all of those things. But when you start accumulating wealth, you have to shift again your mind to think, how can I protect it? How can I leverage it? Right? Leverage is really at the core of wealth building.
Mm,
And
that's
it's a
powerful.
way of being. It's a way of being and thinking. When you buy something, it's not just because I want it. It's I am investing in this. For me, investing is actually voting with my dollar.
Wow.
That's
You
how
know,
I look
most
at
I'm with you. I totally am with you. Most people are at that position right now that they are, living quote unquote paycheck to paycheck. They don't have what they consider money to invest. I don't have $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million to be talking about investment, right? I can't do that now. Why is she even talking to me? I'm not part of the 1%ers, So what about the regular guy, someone that gets up every day and goes to their job, or in this case, gets up every day and walks down the hall and goes and does their
it.
work at home and feels
Yes.
like they may have $100 they could squeeze out every paycheck, maybe, but they don't have investment money. Do they just wait? Do they hope to hit the lottery? I mean, what do
Mhm.
they do?
Absolutely. I love this because nowadays you can start with $1. You don't need 10,000, you don't need 100. You can start with $1. And some people might look at that and be like, "Well, where is that going to get me?" It's what it's going to get you is invaluable because it's going to get you practice. It's going to get you in the mindset. It's going to be getting you doing the right things, looking at the right things, asking again the right questions. That dollar can easily turn into 100, 1,000, 10,000. But let me paint this picture for you. Anybody that has a regular savings account, you are
Mhm.
losing money day in and day out because the value of your dollar decreases every single day if it's just sitting in a regular savings account.
Wow, I never thought about it that way, but you're right. You are absolutely right. Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. And for the people, you don't have to invest. That's the thing. You know, if you want to start simple, just protecting your assets, moving it into a high interest savings account that's still liquid or a high yield savings account. And liquid just means that you can get the money very easily out of it. But even just that, it'll save you hundreds of dollars a month, or sorry, a year, depending on how much you have in it. It's just simple things. And here's what I love so much about the work we do is that wealth creation is not about making more money. It's actually about leveraging what you already have.
Are you guys listening to this? Because I'm sitting here taking notes. Okay. Are you listening to this? I know I'm gonna have to let you get out of here really, really soon. Can you just tell us, what services do you offer with your business? Who's your favorite customer? Like, who should be contacting you right now? Because I know everybody watching is going, I gotta call Queenie. But what is it that you offer for, the audience that you would want them to contact you?
Absolutely. So, Soul Vibe Capital, we remove your money stress, confusion to lay the foundation for generational wealth. That is what we do. That's the problem we solve. So if wealth creation is in your radar this year, we are here to help you. You know, we've got a Facebook group community that we'd love for you to join. I call it the 99% tribe because that's how I see everyone. It's a tribe. And we can work with, honestly, entrepreneurs to working professionals. The only requirement really is commitment and commitment.
Huh?
That's it. Because what I've learned with financial literacy, it's a choice. The information is out there. That's how I learned. Is honestly through years and years of accumulating this. And we have now created this program that makes it easy for you. We take the jargon out, and it's our promise that until you feel good about your plan, we haven't done our job right. And we're there with you. So if you want a roadmap to wealth creation without having to necessarily make more money, I'm here for you.
So how do they find you? How do they get in touch with you? You know, what are the next steps?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can get in touch with me on social media. I am on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me through at Soul Vibe Capital. And anyone coming from Tigo's show, I would love to give you guys the free ebook as a download. Just let me know. And I'd love to connect with you.
That is awesome. Queenie, I've got to thank you for coming on. I got to thank you for sharing. I hope you come back often because, I mean, there's so much more. We touched this much of the subject of finance and understanding, you know, generational wealth. So I hope you can come back. Let's do a live stream soon or something and do a Q&A. Maybe we can answer some questions for some people. What do you think?
Absolutely. I would love that.
I thank you so much. All right. You guys know how it is. I try to bring in the experts to kind of shine a light on the path. And maybe if you're trying to be in the business of finance, you can learn something from Queenie. But if you're like me and you just want to make sure that the next generation and the next after that is just a little bit better than where you are now and building and building and building, that's what somebody like Queenie is here for. She's helping us see the light in our own finances. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you'll come back again. I'm Tigo, and I'll talk to you next time.